Holy cow.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. This is one of 3 Briggs Stratton single-cylinder engines that my friend Nick from Bellport gave me. From Motherload 40. So today we're going to get started on one of them. I'm going to take it apart and see exactly what happened and what's wrong with it. Just to make sure that we start by dismantling it from the bottom first instead of taking out all the stuff, because if it's a good short block we can reuse it again, so no point on taking off the stuff that we want to remain intact. So I'm just going to take the rear sump cover off and find out if this is a usable short block with very minimal damage to the innards of the short block. Okay, sump cover is off. I'm going to close you in on it so you can see better. So I can tell you right away that the sump cover is Dunsky. I haven't looked at it yet. I took it off so I can show you guys. I'm not gonna be so detailed on the other two. It's gonna be like a 2-hour video. But we'll be detailed on this one, the first one. As you can see from the sump cover, the oil pump shaft has caused this part to break. Can you, in a pinch, get away with not using the oil pump? Probably, but this is designed to have an oil filter that lubricates the crankshaft. See how the oil goes into this area and lubricates that area? Without that, I mean, longevity-wise, not really. Here's the oil pump shaft. Don't really need that. Anyway, so this sump cover is Dunsky. Okay, we're going to remove this slowly right in front of you. Here is the governor, and it looks warped because I can't even take it out. It's supposed to just come right out easily, and I can't. Yeah, something's up with this. Looks like the this part here of the camshaft is flared out, which is why this governor here won't come off. And it looks like the camshaft is bent. So actually the governor looks okay. The gears are still good. There's a little damage right here, a melted part right there. I mean, I have so many of these, I don't think I'll keep it because it's damaged. I have better ones. Okay, let's take out the camshaft. I'm pretty sure that the camshaft is bent. And in case this short block is in good condition, I don't want to break it. Here we go. There was a chunk of the connecting rod stuck in there, which made it hard. So look at that camshaft. That's bent really well. I mean, that's like one of the most bent camshafts I've seen in my experience. It's a shame too, because look, you have a good ACR, compression release lever. which is what breaks on these, is the lever. So it's a shame because, you know, it has a good lever. And they don't make it so that you could take the lever off and put it on another one. I mean, I suppose you can, but we don't. I've never done it before. I don't know how they do it. Something's pressed in here with the manufacturing, you know? Like this lobe is pressed in after you insert it. So it's almost impossible to take it out. And even if you did take it out, how would you put it back in? You know what I mean? Everything has to be so precise with the splines and stuff. I mean, theoretically you can do it, but not somebody that works out of his garage, you know what I mean? You would need like a precision shop to do it. So yeah, this is done. Look at the carnage. Oh no. So this block is done ski because the area where the camshaft goes into is broken. The hole, you guys see this hole right here? The whole side here is gone. So yeah, this short block is done. Cam is done. Connecting rod's done. A lot of aluminum transfer on the crank journal here too. I wouldn't keep it. I have lots of crankshafts. But look, the links and the synchro balancer looks like the only thing that survived. Or maybe not. Looks like it might be broken on the bottom too. This link and this synchro balancer may be salvageable. I don't know why you would. I have so many. But looks like we have a good head, starter, voltage regulator with the fuel filler, dipstick, carburetor intake manifold, side throttle bracket. So you know what? I'm just going to disassemble this whole thing and just keep the flywheel and all the stuff I just mentioned for parts. Chuck away the rest. So that was that. This is not salvageable. Crankshaft gave away and caused the bending of the camshaft, which in turn broke the area where it sits in off the short block, so you can't use any of that. Okay, that was fast. Crankshaft, some aluminum transfer, not terrible. Muric acid or fine grit sandpaper and oil will clean that journal, and you could probably still use this, but I have so many I'm not keeping them. Flywheel came off easily. Has good magnets. This will go for about 40-50 bucks on eBay. Minus shipping, $15, $20, whatever. You'll net maybe $25, $30 out of it. He's a good starter, presumably. I sell these brackets very easily for like $20, something like that. This is a 10/16 amp stator. It's in good condition. Stators are green or yellow or red. These go for about $15, $20. Not a lot of money, but it's OEM, so it's good. You need these if you have an electric PTO. So this engine was for a high horsepower engine, electric PTO, because look, you have a voltage regulator too attached to the fuel pump type dipstick, where the pulse of the crankcase goes into this nozzle. It's useful to have. All the sump and head bolts came right out very easily. Here's your magneto, and here's your head. You can tell this head is a high horsepower engine, so it's probably like an 18 or 21, something like that. It's model 331977, and you can tell because this head has the X structural right here. It has an X here where the smaller horsepower ones didn't have the X. It just means it's more structurally sound with the X here. You probably get 40-50 bucks for this too. This is useful. This is the engine harness that attaches to your lawn tractor harness. This one goes to your stator to regenerate the battery. The gray one goes to your fuel solenoid on your carburetor. And the black one goes to your magneto to kill the engine from the switch. Here's the synchro balancer. I thought it was good. You can see the links are broken, but usually you could use the weight. But as you can see here, this part is broken off. So this synchro balancer is Dunsky. Tablets, we don't need those. I don't save these anymore. Here are the push rods. And surprisingly, they are not bent. Given the amount of trauma, they're not, well, I mean, to me, they kind of look bent, but it might be all right. Yeah, they seem okay. Throw the tins away. Got a good flywheel fan. And let's pop out the piston. There we go. Here's the piston. Top ring is stuck. Middle ring is good. Oil ring is good. So the top ring is stuck. Probably from lack of oil or something. Probably what caused this engine to blow was lack of oil. If you don't put oil in it, engine's going to overheat. No lubricity for the piston to slide with the bore. It's kind of scored. I wouldn't save this. And then the amount of friction created by the lack of lubricity in the bore causes this piston to stop and seize from the overheating, breaking the connecting rod, causing the weight of everything moving in that momentum to stop suddenly, bending the camshaft, causing the damage and all the trauma to it. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, lack of oil, that's what was the problem, and connecting rod probably broke first, which caused the rest of this damage. So there's nothing really savable for here except for this stuff right over there. The head, flywheel, magneto, voltage regulator, dipstick and filler tube with the fuel pump type nozzle for the crankcase pulse, throttle bracket, guess we could save the governor, starter motor, one link I could save, fan, everything else is trashed. Oh, well, we do have a presumably good carburetor, because why? It was running, for sure, right? Engine was running, ran out of oil, caused this problem, so this carburetor should be clean. That's good. Intake manifold with the bolts, fuel solenoid, good fuel line. I'll save these. So save, dump. So that was engine number 1. Should I do engine number 2 or wait for another day? You know what? Let's do another one. Alright guys, I guess you guys from watching the time lapse, you kind of figured out that this is good news, right? You noticed that I was inspecting this short block very carefully for a decent amount of time, and it looks like we have a good short block to rebuild a new engine. So here it is right here. I'm going to get closer for you in a second, but here's the crankshaft attached to the synchro balancer. It is completely intact. There's only some aluminum transfer on the crankshaft, but I have another crankshaft that doesn't have any aluminum transfer. It's just a matter of removing this thing here, the links, one of these little woodruff keys to slip out this crankshaft and put the new crankshaft onto this. We'll use this. Has a good governor. There was no damage to this governor at all. It's in excellent condition. So we'll use this governor. I have lots more anyway. And another piece of good news is the camshaft. Some superficial scratches on the lobes, but nothing major, very small. I inspected the teeth very carefully. Nothing hit the teeth. Do you know all the crankshafts, all the camshafts say 579 on it. I don't know why it says that. Every one of them says that. And it has a good compression release. Not damaged. Just excellent news. So this is a good camshaft. It's amazing that it survived that trauma. So all I need to do is get my other crankshaft out that has no aluminum transfer on the journal. And of course the connecting rod blew on this. But I've inspected this entire area, even the bore sleeve. Usually the bore sleeve you get some kind of residual damage, you know, that hits it, whatever, but this is pristine. Here, I'm gonna remove, so I'm not gonna remove the head, because the minute you remove the head, you break the head gasket. So all I wanna try to do is get the new connecting rod, the new crankshaft, attach that on there. We'll first put, we'll pull this piston out, take out the the connecting rod, put my new connecting rod on it, stuff it back in this way so I don't have to take off the head and destroy the head gasket. I've done it before and I know it can be done. And then slip on the new crankshaft onto the synchro balancer, slip it in and attach the ends to that. Now the connecting rod I have, it's kind of damaged, not really, but it's kind of damaged. It has like superficial scratches and like a rub on it, you know, that may have pushed in the hole for the end plate nuts, and it's just harder to turn in one side of the bolt, that's all. But I mean, it should be okay. Like I have any other choice, I don't have any others, right? So I'm gonna show you the close-up look at the internals of that short block. All right, here we go. Here we go. As you guys can see, the walls completely undamaged. It's dirty, of course. I'm gonna spray it all down and get rid of the loose metal aluminum shards from the damage. I'm gonna clean it up with brake fluid, degreaser, all that stuff. This is obviously gonna take a while. Even the crank seal and the journal to the crank is good. I'll get a better look at that bore once I pull that piston and connecting rod out. But as you can see, there's no damage along the sleeve area, the tunnel area, even where the tappets, the push rods go in. There's no damage there. Usually you have some damage. And also major damage sometimes is right there, that second hole there, right there in the middle of the screen. That's where the camshaft goes into. Usually that's damaged. But the reason why it's not damaged is because there's no damage to the camshaft. If there was damage to the camshaft, more than likely that hole would be damaged too. Like the sides of the walls would be gone or something. But that looks untouched. That looks good. So it looks like we have a good short block here. And I could assemble this into a new engine because I do have all the parts. This engine is a high horsepower engine. I think this said 331777, one of those. So this is probably like a 19 or 21 or 20 horsepower engine, because this does also have the oil pump as well as the the better stator. You see the stator here, it's the 1016 type amp one. which means that this definitely required the pulse kind of dipstick, which I have. And it also has the fuel pump type sump. Now look at the sump. This is the sump that came off of it. It's missing that crescent moon piece, which holds the synchro balancer in place. That's Gonski. So this sump, unfortunately, cannot be used. I'm pretty sure I have other sumps that would work. I had the crescent piece over here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I wanted to show you. Here it is. Yeah, see? This piece broke right off the mold. It's supposed to be like right there. This line is what holds this together, or holds it in place on that side. Ooh, don't damage the cam. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's been a while since I've ever had an engine block that I could salvage and use to rebuild another engine. And that will be in a future episode, but we're going to continue on with the 3-engine autopsy. I have one more engine. Hey, hopefully we can get some good parts off of it. So I'm going to set this block aside with the usable parts, and we'll be able to put another engine together. Oh, but you know what? Let me first take out the piston and we'll inspect the bore real quick. This is probably going to be a long video, probably 40 minutes or so by the time I do editing. But, you know, 3 engines, got to take at least 10 minutes each, right? And be very careful because I don't want to damage what I have already. And this is kind of tough to pull out.
That's what she said.
Because you're not banging it with the end of a... Oh, there you go. Yeah, got good compression, good rings. You could tell it's difficult to pull out. Have no leverage. So you know what? You make your own leverage. Grip this. So let's see here. Smooth. You want to see if there's any striations or scuff scoring marks going this direction. And there's some, but very smooth ones. You know, small ones. Not a big deal. And I'm sure I have other pistons too that would also, I could use if I wanted to. You know, I should have taken that out a little carefully because I don't remember if it went in this way or is it this way? Because I don't know if it makes any difference. This has the numbers 28 to 33, so that means that this connecting rod fits a 28 or 33 cubic inch engine. Or is it the side with the AVS with the Briggs Stratton logo on it? I don't remember if it's this way or that way. Hey guys, leave it in the comments if you know if I should put my connecting rod in with the numbers 28 to 33 on the top visible to me, or should it be the Briggs Stratton with the AVS on it? That way I'll know by the time you comment when I do the rebuilding the engine video. Thank you for letting me know. But looks like I could use this piston. I'll just take this ring clip out, push the pin out, put the new connecting rod in, stuff it back in there after I clean up all the shit. Replace the crankshaft onto the new synchro balancer or the old synchro balancer, slip it in, put the end pieces on, assembly lube, camshaft, tappets, all that stuff, push it in, governor, and we'll have to put together a little oil pump. I have parts for it, I save it all, but this looks like a good piston because all the rings are movable, free for free. Yeah, that's right, this is free. All right, let me put this all away, prepare it for the episode where I actually do an engine rebuild, and we'll get to engine number 3, and hopefully we'll get parts out of that one to help build this one, right? All right, taking apart the third engine, I almost was surprised again that there was really no damage to the short block. However, upon further inspection, this part right here, part with the where the camshaft goes into, 75% missing. So you couldn't put a camshaft in there because the walls are gone. So this, unfortunately, this block is Dunsky. So I took the piston out, and this engine is actually different from the first two because this engine is does not have a oil pump, I'm sorry. And as you can see, here's the sump cover, and it has a bent camshaft, and also the compression release lever is gone. This is bent, so this is gone. Also, the crescent moon thing that holds the synchro balancer is gone. So this sump is Dunsky. This governor gear is bent. Well, that's trash. Now, this is interesting though. When I took out the piston, look where it broke. The connecting rod broke at the top part of it. Clean break. So because it was a clean break, it didn't have time to make another rotation. So therefore, there's no aluminum transfer on the crank journal. It is a pristine crankshaft, although the synchro's broke, see? So theoretically, we could use this crankshaft for the rebuilding of the engine, although this one came out of a lesser horsepower engine. Here, I took the head off, and as you can see, the head is the stronger kind with the X structure here, and the valves are very clean, way cleaner than the other one. Because it has a restrictor plate here, it was for probably 17 horsepower. I mean, they're pretty much all interchangeable, you know what I mean? That's what that restrictor plate is for. It's cutting off 1/3 of the amount of fuel and air mixture that goes into the intake. So this head is from 31C, as in Charlie, 31 Charlie 707. But this is a good head. It's the kind that's strong with the X. This could go into high horsepower engines like 19 and higher. I don't know. I'll have some deciding to make. It looks like we have a good crankshaft for the new engine build, and everything else is Dunsky. Looking at the piston, where it had the clean break, there's not a lot of scoring at all. Some surface scratches, but the top ring is half of it's compressed in because of the lack of oil. Same problem, not enough oil. Had a clean break on the connecting rod, which is great, you know, because you saved the journal on the crankshaft. But yeah, I mean, I'll save this just to see with our rebuild if I could use parts from it, whatever. And then that's it. So unfortunately, you can't use this. And also look, the trauma here has a crack on the side of where the starter is. So we couldn't use this one, which is why I took the whole thing apart, you know. Wow, is this a good head gasket? Holy cow, look, it's untouched. It just slipped right off, which means to tell you that a head gasket was done on here recently. See what I mean? This is a recent head gasket replacement. There's no way you're going to remove the head without damaging the head gasket. Too bad you can't use this this short block. I'm going to try to save this head gasket. I have another one, but why not try to save it if I can, you know? Let me get a razor blade, see if I can slowly pry this off. But yeah. Oh, also, you can tell also because this is not a PTO, electric PTO type engine. This is a red and black wire that goes out stator because this is a dual circuit stator. So you couldn't use this for electric PTO ones because it wouldn't generate enough electricity to repower your, to recharge your battery to have enough amperage to maintain the amount of electricity to charge the or engage the electric PTO magnets to hold the pulley to turn the blades of the mower deck. So you would use this with smaller horsepower, probably gravity-fed fuel tank tractors. It's good to have anyway. Okay guys, I took pictures of 2 flywheels, 2 heads. That's all I'm going to sell. Maybe some, I'm continuously selling, you know, the throttle brackets and starters. I got so many starters. And listen, so all 3 of these engines, they blew because of lack of oil. The rings were compressed into the thing, so it just seized that way, and connecting rods blew and synchro balancers go, all from the lack of oil. That was the reason why. So theoretically, all 3 engines were running, which means all 3 carburetors should be clean. Don't need to clean them. So this is all great parts right here. Looks like we have a pretty big horsepower engine, probably 18 through 21 horsepower engine short block that we can use. All I need to do is dig out the connecting rod in the back and use one of the good crankshafts without any kind of aluminum transfer on the journal to be able to put this thing back together again. And it looks like we can create one working engine out of those 3. So, and that doesn't happen often, but stay tuned for that episode in the future where I rebuild an engine from these 3 blown engines and keeping the parts. I threw away all the stuff that I just absolutely cannot use or sell or anything like that. This is all good shit. All this stuff, good shit. Every nut and bolt from the removal of those 3 engines and the critical components. I saved everything that wasn't broken. And in turn, I have this on the curb for the garbage people. Believe it or not, my garbage men actually know the difference between ferrous and non-ferrous metals, aluminum, dirty aluminum, clean aluminum, whatever. And I've seen them come by to pick up the garbage, and then they stop and they take this and put it on the side of their truck for themselves. So they know that this is worth some money at the recycling place. So I'll throw this out a day before garbage day, so that, you know, the garbage people can benefit from this. Okay, bye-bye. Hope you guys enjoyed my 3-engine breakdown, teardown, forensic autopsy video. Love doing these things. It's a little hard on the body because you're moving a lot, working a lot. But for us to find out that all 3 engines blew because of the connecting rod or the synchro balancers due to the lack of oil. Come on, people, put oil in your machines. Check the oil. Do an oil change for a change. It's not hard. But good for me because I've got fantastic parts, probably enough to put together another engine. That's fantastic because I could sure use engines. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe because it continues to allow me to bring you small engine content like this one. Also, paypal.me/mowersandblowers if you'd like to donate $1 or $2 and continue to buy my stickers, damn it. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Uh-oh.
I'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.